Over 17 months ago, I started with $108,000 of debt. Now today, I have about $65,000 of debt, and I hope to be debt-free by February 2021. I'll show you how I use every single dollar towards my goal of being debt-free, and I hope to encourage you to create your own budget and take control of your income so you can live your best financial life. Last month, I was able to knock down a couple $1,000s of debt, and now this month I have some new income, and I'm going to show you how I use every single dollar of that to work towards my goal of being debt-free. So here I have my entire May 2019 budget, and we're going to get straight into it, and we're going to start with the amount of money that I plan to bring in for this month. Here we have my money in table, and in the first line we have my income from my fellowship. So I was a postdoctoral fellow at the Centers for Disease Control, and as a postdoctoral fellow I got a stipend on the last business day of every single month for about $5,000. However, I stopped being a postdoctoral fellow on April 5th. So I worked for one full week of April, and so I'm expecting about $1,261 to be paid to me from this fellowship. So as I mentioned, I typically get paid on the last business day of the month. So I was expecting to get paid on April 30th. But for some reason, I was not paid. I have no idea. And so I contacted them, and they said that they'll pay me by May 17th. So I don't know exactly how much money I'll bring in. I try to do my own calculations, and this is the amount that I'm expecting to bring in. And so we'll see what that full amount technically is when I do get paid. And so I should expect to get that by May 17th. On the second line, we have my income from my new job. And so I started my new position on April 15th. And I was paid 1 week's worth of pay so far. And I was paid about $1,300 for that 1 week's worth of pay. And I did not use that for April's expenses, although I received the paycheck in April, because I typically, previously I would use the previous month's income to cover the next month's expenses. So since I had already covered all of my expenses for April, I had no use for the money when I got the first paycheck in April. So I decided to save it and use it for May. And so I've already received one paycheck, but I'm expecting to receive 2 more paychecks in May that I will use in the month of May, because I will be paid on a bi-weekly basis. So in total, I'm expecting to make about $6,161 between all 3 of those paychecks. Then on the third line, you see that I have income from teaching. So I teach an online course to undergrads. I teach epidemiology, and it's a 15-week course. And so I'll only be paid for 1 pay period in May, because the course has already ended. Actually, I just have to submit final grades and the course will be done. So I'll get 1 paycheck. So typically I get 2 paychecks per month, but I'll only be getting 1 paycheck because the semester is over and I won't be teaching for the summer semester. And so I'm expecting to get $375 from my teaching position. Then for GrubHub, I'm estimating the amount of money that I'm planning to bring in from GrubHub for the month of May. And I'm estimating this amount because I have 2 work trips in the month of May. Actually, I am supposed to be flying out in just a few hours from now to go on my first work trip. And it is currently about 3 a.m. in the morning. And my flight leaves at 8 o'clock in the morning. And I had to get this video filmed. And so I'm up in the wee hours before my work trip, before I had to be up all day talking to people at a professional meeting, trying to record this video. So give me a thumbs up for being up late at night trying to get this video up, because I'm also gonna have to edit this video tomorrow so I can release it tomorrow. So give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it if you did give me a thumbs up for staying up late at night trying to record. So anyway, I have 2 work trips planned for the month of May, and because of that, I'm expecting my income to be a little lower. Also, in the month of May, it's Memorial Day weekend, and me and my boyfriend are going to take a short trip up to Savannah. We're just going to drive up there. And so because of that, I'm also not going to be able to work during Memorial Day weekend. So I'm estimating that I'll only bring in about $815 from GrubHub. Then from Instacart, I'm not expecting to bring in anything unless someone uses my referral link for Instacart. Then Upwork. I also already got paid this money, and I actually should be paid about another $100 or $200. I literally just finished this Upwork assignment before I recorded this video. So remember, give me a thumbs up because I'm working hard to get everything done. So I have a client that I've been working with, and I just wrapped up his project. So far, he's paid me $1,500. He's supposed to pay me another $100 or $200 to like close out the project. So he already sent that to me, and I haven't used the money yet, but I will be using it in the month of May. And so as of right now, I'm just putting out $1,500 because I'm not sure what the remaining balance is for that project, but it should be another $100 or $200. Then for YouTube, I was paid out for YouTube for last month. I was paid $160 or $186 last month with YouTube, but I had the wrong bank account linked to my AdSense account, because if you know my channel, I started a channel back in like 2010 or something, like years ago, and I was monetized at that point, and I had my whole AdSense set up, but then I hadn't filmed videos for like years until I started to do these financial videos, and then I got monetized again, and I didn't really go back and check, or I thought I checked actually the bank account that was connected to my Google AdSense, but I guess I never actually changed it. And so the money got sent to a closed bank account. And so they sent me out a check, and they sent the check actually to my parents' house. And so my mom actually mailed it to me. I have not received it yet. And so part of it is this amount, this $373 is the amount of money that was sent to me from last month. And then I'm expecting about $191 for April's payment that I'll be paid on May 21st. So I'm expecting a total of $373 between my March and April Google AdSense from doing YouTube videos. So I really appreciate you guys for watching my videos and watching the ads or clicking on the ads, because I've been able to bring in some income that I can use towards my debt for that. So I really appreciate you guys for helping me with my debt payoff efforts. Then I don't plan to bring in any additional money through Ebates or anything else. So that's all the total sources of income that I have for this month. And so I'm expecting about $10,485, and I'm going to use that to budget. Now moving on to my money out table, you'll see that a few things are duplicated. And that is because I am now shifting from a monthly pay schedule to a bi-weekly pay schedule. So previously I would get paid on a monthly basis, and I would use my stipend that was paid out on a monthly basis to cover pretty much all of my bills and major expenses. And then anything additional that I made through GrubHub or Instacart or anything else that was paid on a different schedule really didn't matter, because all of my other expenses were already covered for the month through my stipend. Now I am getting paid on a bi-weekly basis. And it's a little tricky for me because although I'm getting paid on a Friday, every other Friday, the date changes. And therefore, it makes it a little difficult to manage when my bills are paid, because the due date for bills stay the same, but the date that I'll be paid changes, although the day is the same. So for example, on one month, the first paycheck might come out on the 8th, right? And then the next month, the paycheck might come to me on the 10th. But I have a bill that's due on the 9th. so in 1 month I would have already received the paycheck before the bill is due, and then the next month I will not have received the paycheck before the month is due. So it becomes a little tricky in that sense because the date of when I receive my checks fluctuates. And so I have to, and then another thing is that the amount of the check is actually split in two. And so I have to basically take money from one check and save it to cover any bills that might need to come up in later half of the month. And so it becomes a little tricky for me. And so what I've realized is from switching from a monthly pay schedule to now a bi-weekly pay schedule, for this first month, I'm going to have to pay things twice out of the income that I'm expecting for the month. And so that might be a little confusing, but that's what I'm going to have to do. So here I have my rent down twice. So I'm using this money to pay for my rent on May 1st, and then I'll use the money to pay for rent on June 1st from my second paycheck out of the month. I'm also planning to move, and so here you'll see that I have down an application fee of $225. So I'm planning to move to a larger place for less money, and so we'll see if I'm able to achieve that. But this is the amount that I'm budgeting for an application fee so that I can secure an apartment. I'm not sure whether I will have to pay this now, but that's how much I'm budgeting so that if I find a place, I'm able to snatch it up really quickly. Then forgive me, I have a new line item here, and so I have down my sister. So my sister is actually having a very small surgical procedure done in about a week or two, and she has to pay a copay of $300. And my sister is in college and she doesn't really work that much money. She has a job, but she doesn't make a whole lot. And so a few of my family members and I are pitching in to help her to pay for the copay for her surgery. And so I'm pitching in $100 to help her out with that. So now we're moving on to the transportation category, and I'm going to discuss them from the last line item up. So for the last line item, I have car repair. So that is a sinking fund that I have that's pretty much not going to change. So that's $100. And then for gas, I got this new job. I still work for the Centers for Disease Control, or at the Centers for Disease Control, but they have 5 different campuses. And so I was on one campus that was really close to my house, and now I'm working at another campus that is a little further out. And so I'm not sure if it's going to really impact my gas budget that much because I've always over budgeted for gas just in case. And so I've typically spent about $80 to $90 a month. So I don't think that I'll still spend upwards to $140 for gas, but I always over budgeted just in case I end up working more, or if gas prices go up, or if I decide to take an extra trip. That way I have money set aside for gas that I don't have to dip into other categories to take money from. So I don't expect that I will use all the money that I have budgeted, but I probably will spend a little bit more money than I have in past months. So that's the gas category. And then for car insurance, last month I paid my car insurance premium for 6 months, and my premium went down by maybe like $60 or so. And so I'm saving up for my next 6-month premium. And so I'm using the amount that I was quoted for this past quote, and I'm breaking that up into 6-month savings plan. And so I'm saving $152 per month. So that's actually a lot less than I was saving in previous months because I'm using 6 months to save, whereas last time I think I only saved over a 4-month period or so. Then for my auto lease, I'm hoping with all the income and the new money that I'm making that I'll be able to contribute $3,600. So that will make a major dent in my auto lease. So just a little backstory, I have a 2016 Honda Civic that I leased back in 2016, and the lease is actually up in July. And I'm hoping to pay off my car before the lease is technically up so that it is fully mine. And I will do a video. I know a few people have requested that I do a video discussing how I'm doing the lease buyout. So I will do a video as soon as I have some time. But this $3,600 will make a really big dent in the amount of money that I owe. And so currently I owe about $4,600. So that will leave me, if I'm able to put all this money down, that will leave me with about a $1,000 payment. And I should be able to pay off my car by next month. So I'm really, really excited about that. Now moving on to the utilities category, I'm expecting to spend the same amount for electricity, phone, and water as I have been doing for the past few months. However, you'll see here that I have down phone and water down twice. That's because I typically pay those at the beginning of the month. So I typically pay my phone bill at the beginning of the month, and I typically pay my water when my rent is due. And so that's why I have them down twice, so that I can get a hold on this whole new budgeting system that I'm gonna have to do. Now moving on to IRA, I also will be paying into my IRA twice. And so I actually haven't paid my IRA yet for this month. I typically pay that at the beginning of the month as well, but because I didn't get paid from my fellowship, that kind of messed up some of my income and the way I pay for things. So I decided to hold off on paying into my IRA until later on in the month. But I am going to get back to the first of the month schedule that I have been on, and so that's why I have down 2 payments for that as well. Then for taxes, that's just a portion of how much I plan to make from my self-employed sources of income. Now moving on to my sinking funds and digital envelopes, and so I'm expecting to contribute the same amount as I have been doing in previous months, except for my nails digital envelope. And I have my nails digital envelope saved in my Simple bank account. If you're interested in checking out Simple, I highly suggest it. I'll have a link down in the description box, and I also have a link up in the cards if you're interested in checking out more about Simple Bank and learning about how I use it to do digital envelopes. But for nails, I typically used to spend about $50 a month during the winter time because I was only getting my fingernails done. But now that the weather is warming up a little bit, I gotta get my little feet done. And so when I went last for my birthday to get my nails and my feet done, I was reminded of the price. And so to get my nails and feet done is $90. And so I'm gonna start putting $90 into my digital envelope for my nails for the summer months, and then I'll go back to just doing my fingernails in the winter months. So that's the only thing that's different. So that brings me out to close out my budget at $10,485, which is the amount of money that I expected to bring in. Typically, I would go over my percentages, but since this month is a little wacky and because I have, double payments, I don't think that it would accurately reflect what I typically spend in a month. And so I don't want to go into that because it might be a little confusing and show that I spend more than I typically spend. So we're going to go straight into the debt meter. So as of today, I have about $65,000 of debt. And if I pay $3,600 towards my 2016 Honda Civic, I will have brought down my debt to $61,489 by the end of May. So I hope I'm able to contribute all that money towards paying off my car by the end of the month, and that will bring me close to being out of the $60,000 range. And I probably will be able to do that in the month of June. And in the month of June, I will have pretty much knocked out all of my debt except for my student loans. And so I'm really excited about, this month because it's getting me really, really close to a major milestone in my debt payoff journey. I'm really excited about this month's budget, and I am also excited to tackle this new way of budgeting. So please stay tuned for my paycheck to paycheck budgets, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up because it really helps on my channel a lot and it lets me know that you like this video. And I hope that you subscribe, and that way I can see you in the next video. Bye.